morning to my fellow BAC members, BAC Secretariat, technical personnel who prepares the plans and program of work, and to our YouTube live viewers. Good morning. Today, January 7, 2025, Tuesday, it's a private conference for 8 civil courts graduates. But before we start, may I request everyone to please stand for the oath of
Loving Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Help us to work together and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that we would challenge each other to reach higher and farther to be the best we can be. We ask this in the name of the Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. May I request the head of the Secretariat to please show to our video screen the selection of our observers and also the letters forwarded to them to attend this private conference this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Our official observer for the DPWH Accredited Private Group is the National Contractors Association of the Philippines Corporation. And our second official observer from the DPWH Accredited CEOs is the Confederation of Filipino Consulting Organization, or Consulting. And that is all we
Please show our video screen the invitation to attend today's private conference.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our first official observer is Sir Adelaide Joel B. Oraba, Speaker Number 4 of Audit Team Leader of Commission on Audit. A letter dated January 2, 2025 is duly received by OWA on January 3, 2025. And our second observer is Mr. Eric D. Cruz, the President of Confederation of Filipino Consulting Organization from Barangay Palazzo, Quezon City. A letter dated January 2, 2025, invitation to see as observer for broadcasting by BD 0035 and 25 BD 003743 was sent Friday, January 3, 2025 at 10:54 in the morning. And our third observer is Engineer Chief Rojo, the alternate observer of National Contractors Association of the Philippines, or NCAP, from Nagakay, Lanslide. A letter dated January 2, 2025. Invitation to sit as observer was sent Friday, January 3, 2025 at 10:50 in the morning. And that's all, Mr. Chair, our invitation to our official observers.
Thank you, Engineer Johnson Rivera, the head of Procurement. The invited observers are not present this morning, but I hope they are watching us now live in our YouTube live stream. So I request the head of the Secretariat for the attendance, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, good morning and happy New Year to everyone. I will now receive the roll of attendance from the BAC members. Engineer Danilo A. Bernadette,
Present.
BAC Chairperson. Engineer Ferdinand E. F. Bayabas, BAC Vice Chairperson. The BAC regular members, Engineer Christopher M. Valencia,
Present.
and Engineer Hardy, Rex, and Lopez. The bank provisional members, Engineer Herbert and Agudelo, Engineer Yanti A. Lina, and Engineer Noel P. Amador Jr. The bank secretary, yours truly, Joseph E. Dilan, Engineer Cindy Demas P. Valdez, Ma'am Rachel R. Infanta, Sir Paul R. Domagas, Sir Vivian Zenay, Ma'am Vivian Zenaida I. Mulan, and Sir Roy M. Carlo. And as Bhakti WGN from the implementing unit, Engineer Romari P. Waayan, Engineer Joshua Daniel S. Rubio, and Architect Roel Valentin E. Hanel. Therefore, Mr. Chair, majority of the attendance of our Bitnong Awards coming composition today are present in our procurement activity today. Therefore, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Just what we're gonna alam mo, next to the so kami matapos malakas na present, no? Thank you, Engineer Jocelyn Digalan. Since we have the quorum, the back chair now declares that the project conference or today's procurement activity is now officially in order. For this morning project conference, we have 8 civil works projects to be procured. The contract ID number 25BJ0035. During this is the advertisement. Contract ID number 25BJ0037, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, and 43. Yun po yung mga contract ID ng 8 civil works projects. The agenda for today's project conference are: number 1, basic contract data. This will be discussed by the technical personnel who prepare the plans and program of work. Number 2, requirements of bidding documents. This will be discussed by the head of the procurement unit. Number 3, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. We have a video recorded for this agenda to be played mamaya para marinig natin yung mga sasabit ng mga documents. To include number 4 agenda, which is and then number 4 agenda is the questions, comments from the leader, and request of the bank and other representative of the procuring entity. Number 5, proposed amendments, if there is any, in the published bidding documents. Number 6, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, cost qualification and award. Again, we have the video recorded to be played in our video stream. Number 7, agenda. Other matters, your announcement, if there is any. And number 8, summary of proceedings, including bid bulletin and or addenda to be issued if there is any. Before we proceed to agenda number 1, which is the basic contract data, I request the head of the procurement unit and or the secretariat to please present Section 22 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations in the latest GPPB issuances. Secretariat.
Section 22, Pre-bid Conference. Section 22.1, for contracts to be bid with an ABC of 1 million pesos or more, the bank shall convene at least one pre-bid conference to clarify or explain any of the requirements, terms, conditions, and specifications stipulated in the bidding documents. For contracts to be bid with an ABC of less than 1 million pesos, pre-bid conferences may be conducted at the discretion of the bank. Subject to the approval of the bank, a pre-bid conference
may also be conducted upon written request of any prospective bidder. Section 22.2, the pre-bid conference shall be held at least 12 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids, but not earlier than 7 calendar days from the PhilGEM's posting. Section 22.3, the pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. Section 22.4, the minutes of the pre-bid conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the pre-bid conference, and shall be made available to prospective bidders not later than 5 days upon written request. Decisions of the bank amending any provision of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental or bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Section 22.5 supplemental / bid bulletin, section 22.5.1 request for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the bank of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. Section 22.5.2, for purposes of clarifying or modifying any provision of the bidding documents, supplemental or bid bulletins may be issued upon the procuring entity's initiative at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Any modification to the bidding documents shall be identified as an amendment. Section 22.5.3, any supplemental / bid bulletin issued by the bank shall also be posted in the PhilGEM's, the website of the procuring entity concerned, if available, and at any conspicuous place within the premises of the procuring entity. It shall be the responsibility of all those who have properly secured the bidding documents to inquire and secure supplemental or bid bulletins that may be issued by the bank. However, bidders who have submitted bids before the issuance of the supplemental or bid bulletin must be informed and allowed to modify or withdraw their bids in accordance with Section 26 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA 9184.
That is all, Mr. Chair, for Section 22 pre-bid conference.
Thank you, Secretary. We go now to the agenda problem, which is the number 1 agenda is the basic contract data. For contract ID number 25PJ0025, already discussed an advertisement. May I request Engineer Jos Walagubio to please discuss the name of the project and other matters relating to contract ID number 25PJ0025. Just one.
For contract ID 25B0035, remote contract, convergence and support program, construction, improvement of access roads leading to grades, industries and economic zones, roads leverage linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, or Pag-asa Road connecting Nagakay Road and Teggep Road to Junction Bitnong-Belance Road in support of approved increase of processing at Dupax and Norte. The location of the contract, Dupax and Norte. Approved budget for the contract, 4,900,000 pesos. Scope of works, construction of 0.282 km by 3.75 meter width by 0.28 meter thickness grade suite and 0.141 km by 1.5 feet by 0.15 feet shoulder. Position of 36 linear meter, 910 mm diameter RCPC, 38.86 cubic meter routed block, 315.20 cubic meters of mass units load protection structure, and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration, 39 calendar days. Cost of bidding document, 5,000 pesos. Source of funding, net by 2025. Date of meeting, January 21, 2025. The total length of the project is 141 linear meters. This is the key location and visibility map of the project, showing the beginning and end of the proposed project. This is the existing project that will link the proposed project. And this is the beginning of the project and the end of the project. As for a typical section number 1, you can see the item 102 plus common distribution, and 100 attribute services with fitness of the Teggep. Item 3111 C1, Mississippi Unlimited or Certified University. Item 4104 embankment from moving excavation structure exhibition. Common. As for typical representation, super elevation showing the score maximum. And the typical representation being RCBs. And for the standard traffic management science, the advanced farming science, roadwork height, workman height, roadwork next, roadwork on side road, for the next 2 kilometers, and roadwork. And for the regulatory science, prepared stop, speed restriction, roadwork, and speed restriction, and speed restriction. And for the standard application science for stop or slow handheld signs, stop no flags, temporary tolerance. And as per DEO, the 158 series of 2015 amendments to DPWH standard specification for IM 605 road sign, side panels shall be manufactured from aluminum sheeting at least 10 MP that conforms to the requirement of ASTM the 209 or 661 pieces aluminum. Side panels shall be in reflective sheeting conform to the requirements of ASTM the 209 pieces. That's all.
Thank you, Engineer Councilor Rujo. Okay, for number 2 contract, we have contract ID number 35DJ0025. Again, this will be discussed to us by Engineer Joshua Rujo. Joshua.
For contract ID 55BG0027, name of contract 001, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, rehabilitation, reconstruction of roads with slips, slope collapse, and landslide, tertiary roads, Papay Malapit, Wakan, Pinulaban, Kachio, Lugo Road, kilometer 309 plus 550, kilometer 309 plus 574, Kasibu, Evaluation. The location of the contract is at Kasibu, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract is 3,920,000 pesos. The scope of works: construction of road slope protection structure, report to the area of 144 square meters. Contract duration 76 calendar days. Cost of bidding document 5,000 pesos. Source of fund net fiscal year 2025. Date of bidding January 21, 2025. The total area of the proposed people is 144 square meters. And this is the proposed project. And the proposed project will not be soon. And next is the end of the proposed project. As for the typical roadway sections, so the typical road section we propose before in RCPC. Next is the typical roadway section we propose stone masonry. This is the details of the global report. And as for the standard traffic management signs, as discussed earlier. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joshua Rubio. We will have contract ID number 3 project. The contract ID number 35DJ 0038. This will be discussed to us by Engineer Chomari Waya. Chomari, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Contract ID 25BJ0038, name of contract. 01, ensure safe, reliable national road system, network development program, road widening, secondary roads, Nueva Vizcaya, Benguet Road. KC0246 plus 326 to KC0248 plus 000, Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contracts at Kayapa, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget of the contract 64,455,245 pesos. Scope of works, construction, widening of 3.348 lane kilometer by 3.05 meter width by 0.38 meter thick carriage width and 3.08 lane kilometer by 1.5 meter width by 0.15 meters thick shoulder. Provision of 25 linear meter 9-10 mm diameter RCPC, 67.86 cubic meter of grouted riprap, 8,852.85 cubic meters stone masonry slope protection structure, extension of single barrel 3 by 3.5 meters at the right side, single barrel, and 3 by 2.23 meters at the left side, with wing wall and aprons down at both sides. Double triple, with an area of 1,034,059 square meters and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration is 238 calendar days. Cost of bidding document 50,000 pesos. Source of fund then FY 2025 and date of bidding January 21, 2025. The total length of the project is 1,674 linear meters. The vicinity mark and the key location of the project. The beginning of the project is after the Baan Bridge, going to Kayapa province. This is the ongoing construction of the previous project, ship piling, and this is the beginning of the project. And the end of the project at 8 kilometers to 40. This is the typical roadway section of the project. We have a widening of 3.05 meters at both sides, and a shoulder of 1.5 meters width, and a proposed urban gutter on the right side, and proposed line canal at the left side. This is the proposed typical road section for the with RC pipes. And the proposed extension of the existing RCPC with 3.5 meters at the right side and 2.3 meters RCPC at the left side. The typical road section for the proposed brick wall and the standard traffic management signs for the project as discussed in the earlier presentation. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Engineer from Marian. We go now to contract number 4 project. It is a contract ID number 25 DJ039. Again, this will be discussed by you, Engineer from Marian.
Contract ID 25 BJ0039. Name of contract Convergence and Special Support Program, construction improvement of access roads leading to trains, industries, and economic zones, road leveraging linkages for industry and trade infrastructure program, Road Valenda Road, connecting Nagakay and Sinabawan to Maharlika Highway, in support to the coffee industry of LGU under auto program Santa Fe Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contract Santa Fe Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget of the contract 4,900,000. Scope of works, construction of 0.426 lane kilometer by 3.05 meters width by 0.23 meters thick carriage way. Provision of 10 linear meter, 9 mm diameter RCPC, 285.63 cubic meters non-masonry slope protection structure, and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration 39 calendar days. Cost of bidding document 5,000. Source of fund net FY 2025 and date of bidding January 21, 2025. The total length of the project is 213 meters. This is the vicinity map of the project. The project is located at the beginning of after the dam, below the Mag-asawang Kahoy Bridge at Maharlika Road. The typical roadway section of the project with stone masonry at both sides and 3.05 with PCC. This is the typical road section for the super elevated road. And the standard traffic management signs as discussed earlier. That's all.
Great, thank you, Professor. May I ask the Secretariat if there is any questions or comments from the leaders pertaining to the presented approved plans and also to the previous contract or contract ID number 35, 37, 38. Meron bang nagtatanong ng mga prospective leaders? There is none. Okay. So, number 5 project, it has a contract ID number 25DJ0040. Again, this will be discussed to us by Engineer Chomali Wayan. Chomali.
Contract ID 25BJ0040. Name of contract Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access roads and or bridge from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, Purok Everlasting, Barangay Tutalo, Alitaw, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contract, Barangay Tutalo, Alitaw, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget of the contract, 19,800,000. Scope of works, construction of 1.39 lane kilometer by 2.5 meters width by 0.20 meters carriage way, provision of 54 linear meter 9 mm diameter RCTC, 2,731.27 cubic meters stone masonry slope protection structure, single barrel 3 meters by 2.1 meter by 3.0 meters at both sides, an extension of single barrel 1.5 meters by 4 meters at the right side, and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration 119 calendar days. Cost of bidding document 25,000. Source of fund net FY 2025 and date of bidding January 21, 2025. Total net of the project is 695 linear meters. This is the vicinity map of the project, showing the beginning of the project and the end of the project. This is the geotag picture for the beginning of the project. And the geotag pictures for the end of the project. The typical roadway section for this project is 5 meters width carriage way with stone masonry on both sides without head wall, or wider carriage way for the vehicles. And the standard traffic management signs discussed in the previous presentation. That's all, Mr. Chief.
Thank you, Mr. Joshua Bayan. Hi, Chomali Bayan. May I ask again the Secretariat if there is a comment or questions pertaining to the presented approved plans? There is none. So we will have to number 6 project. It has a contract ID number 25DJ00421. This will be presented to us by Engineer Joshua Rubio. Joshua.
For contract ID 25BG0041, name of contract Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, VIP access roads and or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities. Construction of road Mount Norte, Barangay Widening, Alitaw, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the contract is at Alitaw, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract 24,750,000 pesos. Scope of works: construction of 3.88 kilometer by 2.5 feet by 0.28 feet and 3.88 kilometer by 0.6 feet by 0.15 meter shoulder. Provision of 67 linear meter, 110 and diameter, RCPC, 130.33 cubic meter, routed with top, and 376.30 cubic meters, all maximum slow protection structure, and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration, 126 calendar days. Cost of bidding document, 25,000 pesos. Source of fund, net fiscal year 2025. Date of bidding, January 21, 2025. The total length of the proposed project is 1,940 linear meters. And for the vicinity map, it shows the beginning and end of the proposed project. The end of the proposed project will be linked to an existing road. And this is the general picture of the beginning of the proposed project and the end of the proposed project. And for the typical roadway section, the average width is 5 meters with the urban gutter at the mountain side. And as for the standard traffic management size, is the same as discussed in the earlier paragraphs. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Jones. Secretariat, do we have any questions or comments from our prospective viewers regarding the presented programs?
None.
There is none. Okay, if there is none, we go to number 7 project. Number 7 project has a compound ID number 25BJ0042. Again, this will be discussed to us by Engineer Joshua Rubio. Joshua?
For contract ID 25BJ0042, aim of contract, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, access roads and or bridges to the national roads leading to main road, strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road for 7, Barangay Boy South, 2 Barangay Ocao, Piña, Arao, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the contract, Arao, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract, 19,800,000 pesos. Scope of works, construction of 2.869 main kilometers by 2.5 feet by 0.20 meters each. Provision of 23 linear meter, 910 mm diameter, RCPC, 67.72 cubic meter routed with top, and 950.33 cubic meters stone masonry slope protection structure, and provision of road safety devices. Contract duration, 119 calendar days. Cost of bidding document, 25,000 pesos. Source of fund, net fiscal year 2025. And date of bidding, January 21, 2025. The total length of the proposed project is at 1,434.50 linear meters. And this is the vicinity map showing the beginning and the end of the proposed project. For the geographic pictures showing the beginning of the proposed project and the end of the proposed project. For the typical roadway section, we have average width of 5 meters and urban gutter at both sides. And for the standard traffic management signs as discussed earlier. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joshua Rubio. May I ask the Secretariat if there is a comments or questions from our prospective bidders regarding the presented approved plans? There is none. So we go now to number 8 project, which is the last project to be discussed. It has the contract ID number 25 DJ0043. This will be discussed to us by architect Ruel Chanel. Ruel?
Thank you, Mr. For the contract ID number 25BD0043, link of contract for Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, multi-purpose buildings facilities to support social services, construction of multi-purpose buildings, Barangay Anak and Barangay. Location of the contract, Barangay Anak and Barangay. Group budget for the contract, 5,445,000 pesos. Scope of work, construction of 9.30 meters by 10.50 meters, two-story multi-purpose building with complete finishing, including solar power supply. Contract duration, 170 calendar days. Cost of bidding document, 10,000 pesos. Source of fund, net FY 2025. Date of bidding, January 21, 2025. This is the proposed perspective of the proposed two-story multi-purpose building. As you can see, the vicinity of the proposed project is situated below the after Barangay Kabaratan Alam Barangay. Road leading to Barangay Uli. This is the output of the proposed site as a flat site. The site development plan of the proposed project of the has a 170 square meter total floor area. This is the floor plus and floor plan or floor plan. Roof plan. The application of solar power supply, 5 kilowatt inverter of grid type, 625 watt variation solar panel and type 300 each. Lithium type battery. This front elevation of the proposed building. Rear elevation, left side elevation, right side elevation. This also.
Thank you, architect. Do you have a plan for the solar line?
As per our who from the solar panels is specs around
Wala kayong plan kasi ano yun, 635 watts.
Ulit ko sa
May ipakita sana natin dyan sa videos ninyo para alam nila yung bibili nila ng mga solar lights. Wala?
Yung specs ng sarang.
Okay, bigyan ko na natin sila ng specifications. Okay, thank you. Do we have any comments or questions from our prospective viewers, Secretariat? There is none. If there is none, we go now to agenda number 2, which is the requirements of the meeting documents. Thank you. This agenda number 2, which is the requirements of the meeting documents, will be presented to us by the head of the Procurement Unit, Engineer Joseph Tegala. Joseph?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The following are the requirements of the meeting documents. Report of meeting. For IDP clause 5.2, the purpose from not similar to the project for the contract which have the same major categories of work shall be the major categories of work for the following projects: 25 billion to 0.5, 25 billion to 0.38, and C 25 billion to 0.42, RCP-O, construction-PPP, for contract 25 billion to 37, RCSPS-Road, construction-low protection using structural ethics, development of building structures project. And for contract 25 billion to 43, PIC OLC-UV, construction without low rise concrete frame 1 to 5 stories. Qualifier, similar works with at least 50% of the item of work of the project. IT clause 7.1, subcontracting is allowed. And for IT clause 10.4, the key personnel must be the required minimum years of experience at below for all contracts. Project manager, for one, the city officer shall have general experience at least 3 years and relevant experience of 2 years. And for PE must be at least 2 days for the professional product engineer. And material engineer must be at least DPWH accredited and E1. And the key personnel should meet the following experience. 1. The experience means total years of experience of any major construction and engineering student services, and 2. Include the last identification number or team of a key personnel. And compliance could be on an 8 of 360 revised guidelines on the accreditation of contractors / confidence materials engineer. 1. Include the accreditation number and contact number of the materials engineer. For IPP clause 10.5, the following are the minimum major equipment requirements for the following contract, which can be found in the big data sheet for respective contracts for all the contracts. And for the laboratory equipment, please refer to DEO 11, series of 2017 for the minimum materials specification. And that's all, Mr. Chair, for the requirements of the meeting documents.
Thank you, Engineer Joseph Tegala, for discussing agenda number 2, which is the requirements of the meeting documents. We go now to agenda number 3, which is documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals. We have a video recorded for this agenda. I request the Secretariat to please play the video recorded for agenda number 3. Thank you.
Requirements for technical and financial documents, procurement for civil works. 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. Legal documents. A. Valid field dress registration certificate, platinum membership of ages, in accordance with section 8.5.2 of the IR. Technical documents. B. Statement of the respective bidder on all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar to and C. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, under conditions provided under the rules, and B. Specialty cab license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract, and C. Original copy of base security. If in the form of a surety bond, subject also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission for original copy of notarized insecurity declaration, and F. Project requirements, which shall include the following: A. Organizational chart for the contract to be made. B. List of contractors' key personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be made, to their complete qualification and experience statement. C. List of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor/vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be. And G. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of the corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to act to represent the bidder. Financial documents. H. The prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. Class B documents. I. If applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence for duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. 2. Financial component envelope. J. Original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Other documentary requirements under RA number 9184. K. Original of duly signed bid prices and the bill of quantities. And L. Duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up to the bid, and M. Cash flow by quarter.
And the results is prepared for the technical and financial documents is submitted by the
Okay, thank you. For the requirements of the DP documents, the documents to be submitted by the bidder including technical and financial proposals. Do we have any questions or comments from our prospective bidders?
None, Mr. Chair.
There is none. So if there is none, there will be no amendments to the bidding documents published in the DPWH website and DPWH website. So we go on to agenda number 6, which is the criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, cost qualification, and award. I think we have a motion for that for this particular agenda. So please play the recorded video. Thanks.
Detailed bid evaluation. For the procurement of infrastructure projects, the purpose of bid evaluation is to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. 1. The bank shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. A. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including the value, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided, but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive, but specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government. And B. Arithmetical corrections. Correct computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. 2. The bank shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax or VAT, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for bid evaluation and comparison. 3. In case of discrepancies between A. Bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. B. Total price of the item and unit price of the item as expended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. C. Stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. D. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. 4. Bids shall then be ranked in the ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors, and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. Total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors, and other bid modifications, which exceed the ABC shall be disqualified.
Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. 1. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. 2. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the bank that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the bank its latest income and business tax returns, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time, or a finding against the veracity thereof, shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, or IRR of Republic Act No. 9184. 3. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all the Class A eligibility documents supporting the Field Gem Certificate of Registration and Membership in accordance with Section 8.5.2 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA No. 9184, and all the other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria, as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to, the following. A. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist, as provided in Section 25.3 of the 2016 Revised IRR of RA No. 9184. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. B. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, I. Verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. 2. Verification of availability and commitment, and or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment units to be owned/leased/under purchase by the bidder for use in the contract under bidding, as well as checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts, if any of these ongoing contracts shows a negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of two or more contracts. B. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. C. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures. 4. D. Substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects. 3. Ascertainment of the authenticity of the bid security and its correctness as to type, amount, form and wording, and validity period as required in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents, or the bidders and FCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. The determination of the lowest calculated and responsive bid or LCRB is guided by sections 34.4 to 34.8 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184. The BAC will recommend to the award of contract to the bidder with the LCRB in accordance with section 37 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184, which outlines the procedures for the notice and execution of award.
And that is all, Mr. Chair, for the criteria and procedures from preliminary to award.
Okay, thank you, Secretary. We go now to agenda number 7. Number 7 is other matters and non-announcement. Secretary, do we have other matters? And our announcement to be discussed in this budget conference.
For the announcement or reminders, we have the next procurement activity, opening of bids, January 21, 2025 at 9 a.m. here in the conference room of DPWH Nueva Vizcaya, second DEO. What we discussed today for here in our credit conference, for one truck, 25 BG0035, one truck, 25 BG0037, and one field, one truck, 25 BG0043. That is all the switch for the announcement.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Joseph. So the last agenda is the summary of proceeding, including the bulletin and agenda issue. We have discussed the agenda, particularly number 1, basic contract data, number 2, the requirements of bidding documents, number 3, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal, number 4, agenda, question, comments from bidders and replies above, and other representative to procuring entity. Number 5, agenda, the proposal amendment. We do not have any proposal amendment because there are no modification in the program. Number 6, agenda, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. Number 7, agenda, the announcement made by the head of the procurement unit. And we do not have any bulletin to be issued in our agenda because there are no question comments from the bidders, particularly on the projects presented. So that's all for the agenda for the conference. Do we have any further announcement from the board members? There is none. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Mr. Chair, we move for the adjournment of this particular activity.
Any second the motion? It is been moved and seconded that the public conference this morning is now officially adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to our YouTube live viewers and also to our prospective viewers. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.